unleash your creativity with your micro welder, episode 13. Today, I'm going to show you how to weld this long Herkimer necklace. Whatever little pieces I've got, I do it, and the effect is rather random. And then afterwards, you can take a look to see if that's the placement you like, and then cut and add the extra beads as you see fit. So let's just get started. And what I've done here is I've sorted out some beads to be bigger for center and then little ones for the side, like this. I fold it and I pinch in the back. In that way, it doesn't move around much. So I want to show you this. This is how much is protruding. And I'm going to weld it. Here we go. So it's just a little bit protruding like this. See? And then I clean it. When I clean it with soap, it'll be fine. So this is the effect. And should it be the case that actually this part, if you're finding that your bead sticks out quite a bit, you can move it so you don't have to gather it there. You can gather up top, and I'm going to try showing you one, but it's not scratchy. So I've got here wire, and what I do is thread wire the bead, followed by the other wire that I want to gather, like this. Now, then I pinch on the other side, but if I was to pinch right over in the middle, that's where the bead protrudes because it's a Herkimer Diamond. Instead, I don't want it to stick out, so I'm just going to move the wire up top, like this. I'm going to show you. So it's not right in the middle, it's up top. The reason is when I fire it, the ball will be right there and nowhere else. Wouldn't stick out, so it'll be tucked in, like here. So first, I'm going to pinch it a little bit with my pliers so you can see. And I want it tapered so that when the chain is hooked on like this and the person is wearing it, the weld is up top, and so it's not right behind here, it's up the top. Okay. Okay. So it's going to stick up like that, and when it's welded, it'll be tucked. So I've got just a bit more than, I'm going to trim this back because I want as little as possible. I'm going to pinch it like this, as in the ball. And now that both sides are touching, and let's see if you can see that. Okay, that's good. I'm going to clean it a little bit to give you a closer look. So, as it drapes, this bit is right on top of the most protruding part so that it doesn't stick up. And that is the result. And I'm going to do the rest of them like that before cutting and figuring out the final placement of my beads. Mental note, I let this side, which has the bead, drape below first, and then so I can see the position of front and back. And I know it's this way, so then I pinch. And it is far better, and I want to make sure that it's the side that I want, like this. And I'm going to pinch not in the middle, not right where it protrudes most. I mark where I want it, and then I use a pair of pliers because, in fact, your fingers are soft, so you don't get a tapered pinch the way you would with a pair of pliers. So now I've got it done like this, and it is not right out to the middle on the side, so the ball would be tucked, and we're good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. It's quite tight. Now I'm ready to weld. Good. I'm quite happy with that. So now, if you can see, when I pull it, like this, it's facing this way, which I like. Okay, now we're going to continue on with that. And should it be the case after you do this and you find that it's a little bit loose, that's okay. What you can do is you can just pinch a little bit more and then weld again. And that will tighten the ball, make the ball bigger and tighten the wires. Now I realize that I've got quite a long wire, so I don't want it that long. I'm going to cut it here and add a bead. And you can do this however often you wish. And actually, it's rather wasteful that I'm leaving this much extra wire. But it's hard to get a good grip otherwise. Just save all your clippings and melt it. There we go. Okay, so, and by the way, you'll see sometimes there's oxidation. You can clean it very easily, and also you can use soap and water thereafter. And should it be the case that you really manhandled it, you can use a pick or a pin afterwards. Let's see. You can see this. I squished this chain, but all you have to do is use a push pin, go in and just run it so that it puffs out. I'm going to do that at the very end. I'll show you. But this is the way it looks, and I can fix those links. I'm just checking to see where the stones land and whether or not I want some closer. So every so often you can check to see if the placement is where you want. And you can adjust and mark down whether or not I want symmetrical or asymmetrical. The great thing about this is these beads, Herkimer Diamonds, are irregular in shape. And this method keeps everything in place when you pinch the wires. So you have a lot more control over the design and how it ultimately sits. And that's all it takes. Give you a closer look. I'm loving these. So, I want to show you this. I was able to trim a little bit more. You see how flat it went? Yes, there is oxidation. It's removed. Here's a tip. You see the way your chain is? If it is this way, make sure that the next one is facing the same way. So if your link is this way, make sure that when you cut, so you might have to remove a link so that all of them face the same way. It makes it a lot easier. So that next one, because I connect and I'm pinching the back, the stone is going to be like this. We don't want one where I'm going to pinch it and it's going to be this way. What I mean is your link has to be odd number of links. So if the last loop here is this way, your top loop also this way. If you're calculating and your loop is this way at this here, your top has to be this way as well. I don't like how much it sticks out, so I'm going to pinch it more this way, and then we trim it. So I've removed more of the metal. And there, I have flattened it. Like such. I'm going to make sure that it can hang properly before I do this. And that sticks out a bit too much, I think. I just need the chain to be able to slip in there and for me to be able to weld this. Just enough metal to melt it. And if I don't have enough room, go to the other side like that. Okay, perfect. Again, it's getting a lot easier as I go. Okay, perfect. And there we have the last bead. As I was saying a little earlier, what would happen if by accident you squished a link? What you do is you take your thumbtack, any thumbtack, you put it there, and then you just run across like this. Now back to normal. And how far you go depends on the size, and you just be careful and just run across like this until the links look the same. An easy trick, if ever you make a mistake, at least now it's kind of ovally. I'm going to do that, go through my necklace to see if I've done that. Because sometimes, especially with filming or shaky hands, you do that and it's normal. Just do that. And finally, this is what it would look like as a stacking bracelet. I hope you found that episode to be interesting. And if you did, please like and subscribe and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Actually, it helps the algorithm. I'm a wholesaler of premium quality chains and findings, as well as micro welders. I'm going to leave a note below, a little bit more information about our company and what you've seen in this video.